Jack and Jill here.
Hi.
And let us know if you happy Thursday, and let us know if you can
Happy Thursday.
hear us okay. Please type it in the chat.
Hope everybody's having a great week. I am loving it. We got rain today.
Thank you, Rod.
Thank you very much.
We have rain and a fire and fireplace.
I love it. Makes me happy.
Awesome.
Yay. Love to hear. Last week, we threw out a request for some positive, great numbers stories. And so I want to put that out again.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So, because that's always fun to hear, whenever you want to share, you're not going to believe what I just bought and what I sold it for kind of thing. That gets us all excited,
Mm-hmm.
Makes me want to hang up and go check the mail. I gotta go. So, yeah, good stuff. Hey, Albert. Oh, cool. Do you want to?
I can start with me. We got a bunch of property in northern Arizona from 2008. Somebody contacted me directly, out of the system.
How did they find you?
I don't know. They found me on the internet somehow.
Huh? Cool.
So It's a bunch of properties, 34.
Oh.
And they said, please just reprice it because we do want to sell it. And that was it.
Yeah, come get them, basically.
Yeah, come and get them.
We're leaving them on the curb. Come and get it. That's how I feel like sometimes, it's not funny, especially after many, many years that they've they're just done with it.
Yeah.
And I've had people that have really said, will you please just it was so nice. Some of the deals now that we sent out years ago, they're just kind of small. And I'm like, thank you so much. It doesn't meet my criteria right now. They're like, will you take it for this? Will you take it for that? Will you just take it? I'm like, oh, and I feel so sad, but it's not worth my time, So, yeah.
We should start posting those on the deal board.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that was my original intention. And then we got busy with all the other things that we're doing.
Right.
So, yeah, cool. So, wow. A free notary at a title shop. Luke just put a note in there, canceling the $100 one in for deals in Wisconsin.
Nice.
A free notary? Why would they? I
just paid a notary $150.
Is that how much that costs?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's going to change.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's. What's funny? I almost asked her. When she had me, as you can see the note, that's the notary right there, and I'm signing the paper there. I almost asked her how much she gets out of this, but I didn't. Next time I will. So it's really interesting. Good stuff. So do you want to talk about anything before we start in with the questions, or do you want to just start in with the questions, Jack?
Yeah, really quickly. In fact, I'll do it in the middle of when we have more people, but right in the middle.
Okay.
So around 3:30.
Okay.
We can talk about how a couple of people in our group have earned the right to get kicked out too at that time.
You're silly.
It hasn't happened in a long time, but this week there's a couple people.
No.
She's not going to let me talk about it.
Silly. All right. Oh, yes. Thank you, Luke, for sharing this right now. Math on a $25 notary. I'm used to paying around $50. That's what I used to pay. Luke's been on the phone with Heartland half the day. I think I got signed up to do the credit cards through there. That is fantastic. Good. So that's part of the announcement you're going to make at the top of the hour, right? Or that bottom of the hour?
Yeah, I'm going to put it up on the screen right now. If you go to Land Investors, I'm going to do it for you. You can, all the updates are there now. So how to get, if you want to take credit cards, here it's right here. Jill Pay is active and Heartland is active or elated to announce this. So
simply
just
fill out
click
the
there,
form.
just click out the form, and we have a custom department set up there that will that Luke may or may not confirm knows what they're talking about. And so you can sign up.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably 28 people so far I saw on the list since we released this that are in the system. And at some point, I saw Luke signed up a couple days, 2 to 3 days ago.
Right. So what? Just because we have people on this call that I personally know because I talked to them a little while ago. Dusty, Terry, and Preston, excuse me. That glad you are here. One of the things that we have run into is being able to accept credit card payments for our property type. And we all go down the path with one, and they go, nope, forget it, we don't do real estate. And we go down with the path with another one. They go, oh, forget it, we don't do real estate. Everybody's kind of, as Jack referred to it, allergic to our property type. Well, we found one, and it's Heartland. And they know our property type. It took us pretty much a year.
Our product type. So some people sell stuff on Amazon to go camping with, and some people sell real estate online. Mm-hmm. Most credit card companies don't like real estate.
Exactly.
For whatever reason. I get it. They see it as a higher risk situation. So that's fine.
I just think they don't understand it.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's not like they can say, did you get the sunglasses in the mail? Yes, I got the sunglasses in the mail. Okay, we'll process the charge.
I would say this, though. It would be very helpful if people like PayPal and everybody else would just say right up front, right in their terms and conditions, that this is not a product type that we support. Right. And then we can just move on. Instead of getting us all signed up, going through 6 months, and then saying, "Oh, you guys we're going to have to kick you out now."
Right. That's what had happened to us, and so now we have this company, and they're doing it, and I'm so happy. And people are writing. Thank you for sharing all this. People are writing notes into to us here, telling us that they're setting it up and looking good. Great to work with, knows what he's talking about. My level of trust is up. Thank you for sharing that.
Well, if you look at the chat box, Kyler's all up and running, and David S. has had a good experience so far, so that's good.
Exactly. Yep. Okay, good.
Oh, Luke is saying yes, good.
They set up a code. Yeah. There's some other things, too, about this, Luke, that you'll love. Like the no limits. There's no limits on daily amounts. There's a couple other things I can't remember. Auto pay, you can even do. So for your terms properties, you can set up auto pay through them. It's just like fantastic. And they're completely integratable to WordPress website. I got actually all the code today, and we're trying to launch Title Mine. So I haven't looked at it that closely, but we will include it in Landpin. You'll be able to have a button running on Landpin so they can check out at some point. Awesome. Hey, thank you very much. Luke's adding some great information here. I'm going to share this, Luke, because and if we're all good, this is interesting. So when anyone our code gets chargebacks, it goofs up our ratings. And if we're all good, we get lower prices over time, like a group insurance kind of thing. Oh, that's nice. Well, I'll do my part to make sure that get a lot of good transactions. Cool. And it says, call ahead and get big transactions through like 401k kind of transactions. Like 40K. Or 40K kind of transactions. So good. Yeah, just like give them a heads up, but they can process them. So like when Jill goes jewelry shopping. Yeah. I'm going to use it for that. Just kidding. No. All right. You want to dive in? Yeah. Okay. Kelly asked, hi, Kelly. For the first mailing list to Mojave County, Arizona, can you explain and provide the methodology for selecting the thresholds for, I'm guessing in the program, the size of the parcels and the price threshold? Yes, I can very simply explain that. I chose 5-acre properties as an example. So in Chapter 5, I go through from start to finish how to send out a mailer in Mojave County. A lot of stuff's changed since then, like the mailing company issues and all that. But basic concept has not changed and most likely will not vary too far from that. I chose 5 acres because 5 acres, for some reason, seem to yield a tremendous amount of. Everybody likes 5-acre property. If you go stand on a 5-acre property, it's way larger than you would think, and you can buy them for $500 to $1,000, and usually sell them for way more. So they seem to be, of all the product types that in that asset category, like rural vacant land, seem to just move quickly. They're affordable. You can pay cash. You can do terms. You have a lot of options when you buy a good 5-acre property with access. So that's why I chose the size. And then the price threshold, for years and years, even as recent as this week, we seem to buy 5-acre properties in the desert for $500, $100 an acre. So that was really meant, if anybody's a regular listener here, it's really meant to be an example of what's possible. If you followed us or the progress that we've made over since we did that in late 2015, the program, now Jill and I are buying movie star ranches and
houses and all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm. As are our members.
Using the exact. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
and
not just us.
In a lot of cases, our members are doing it way more successfully than we are.
Yeah.
Maybe because they don't have to run things like Land Academy.
Maybe that's it. Title Mind. They just... That might have something to do with it. I almost want to say, hey, I want to catch up. Hold on.
Jill gets a little jealous once in a while. When I tell her, I'm like, yeah, I just got off the phone with a guy. He bought 18 houses. And it's his first mailer. She's like, wait a minute.
What are we doing?
What are you talking about?
Hang up the phone and go do that, Jack. Yes.
So I hope that answers the question.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It was an example, not do it exactly like this. Price it exactly like this.
Yeah. And one of the things I think we did a good job stressing over the months, years, is that $100 an acre is not everywhere. And even now it might not even be, there's certain places, but not a lot. So you want to price it well and good. It might be $250 an acre is awesome because they're selling for $1,000 an acre.
And thanks for watching the program, by the way. Mm-hmm. Vast majority of the people don't do that. They just ask questions.
Oh, no. Oh, boy.
Of all the people that we've hired, all the people we've hired, not one has watched the program. It's a running joke now.
It's
all through the companies.
That actually is true.
Of all the people on the planet we could hire to work in all these companies, they're a group of least interested real estate investors. I don't know why that is.
I don't know. Because they're so satisfied. They're all on this call, by the way. And they're so satisfied in what they do. We're going to go with that. Thank you. So, all right. Daryl asked, that they're all right now. We're not in the same room. They're all looking at each other, making eyes going.
Some are laughing and some are crying.
Exactly.
Just like the kids, Jill.
Yes. All right. Daryl asked, what is the purpose? Oh, this is good. What is the purpose of the back task list in the members area? Good question. Is it just to help estimate the response rate of mail to counties?
Yeah, it's that, and it's just another element of research. It was a table that I relatively quickly put together. Here, I'll pull it up real quick. I'll try to talk and type at the same time. That shows, it's a table that I put together to replace taxsalelists.com that changed hands / went out of business when we did the program. Well, we're talking about the program a lot today.
We are. This is good.
So for me, it really helps. Like if I'm thinking about sending mail out to, I don't know, when it pulls up here, I'll show you. It's like 40 or 50,000 lines of data, so it pulls up slow. And you can see in 2014, this county in Alaska had 51 parcels that went off for tax sale. Not that intriguing, but if you go to something like, since we're talking about Mojave County, and you can see they had a lien sale in 1516, and 28,000 properties, 24,000. That's an indicator to me. Look at Maricopa County too. Every time I pull this chart up, I learn something. Look at Pima County, which is where Tucson is, and Pinal County, which is in between Phoenix and Tucson. These are good counties. Yuma's real strong. Does that mean you should just concentrate on counties that are, look at LA County. Mm-hmm. These are just counties that you should concentrate on with higher numbers? No, but it's an indicator that you might pick up some true unwanted property by people who've just been paying the taxes for years and years. That's been our experience anyway. So I'm going to go ahead.
No, I'm looking because I'm like, oh, look at San Luis Obispo has very few.
Right. That being said, some of the best these not houses, but land deals that Jill and I have ever done are in counties where they just never have any back tax property at all. Mm-hmm. So it's a resource tool, like all these tools, and use it how you think is appropriate. I wish I could say use it this way and you'll win, but that's just not reality.
It's good. This is just it's all the stuff that we look at to make these really good decisions.
Right.
Todd asks, if I'm not getting a good response from mailers, should I move to another county? Many calls wanting to sell. Most had title issues or were lost from tax auctions. How would you target a county? What search criteria would be helpful? Well, one of the ones is what we just talked about. which is looking at the back tax stuff. Okay, so I want to know, Todd, can I ask more about what your response was? What do you mean by
First of all, you're going to get, there's no bad county that you're going to get a relatively equal response regardless of the county that you mail. The variable is not the county or where you mail. The variable is pricing. So it's not that. I think you maybe if you said $100 an acre out in Cochise County, Arizona, you might get a bad response.
I wonder if it's soon too. You said you had many calls wanting to sell. Most had title issues or were lost from tax auctions, like they went back to the county. So what's with the ones that are wanting to sell? But okay, so after the ones that they went back to the county, how many are left over? If you sent out 1,500 and you're staring at 20 that you're meet your criteria and you're reviewing for acquisition, I think that's good.
Yeah. Let's run down the list, though. You got to have a website. You need to have some type of web presence where they look up your name or the company name, and they need to find something positive, like you smiling with your dog or whatever version of that is for you. So that's number one. Number two, you have to answer the phone or have somebody answer the phone. Like right now, everybody uses Pat Live. That's huge. Number three, all the calls and hang-ups, if there are any, like you need to call them back. So there's some basic stuff that needs to happen to make this work. They're not just going to fall out of the sky, although sometimes it happens. But the real issue, the meat of the issue, is pricing. My gut tells me you went in a little light.
We just talked about that a little while ago.
The people who are successful in this group,
spend your time on that.
A lot of them are on the call right now. Luke especially, spends a lot of time on pricing. Really a lot of time.
It's so good. Awesome. Right. Kelly?
Okay, go ahead.
You want me to say something about that? Okay. All right. And if you have more on that, Todd, type it in and we'll answer it. Kelly asked, could you go over the pros and cons of mailing tax delinquent? Oh, I love this. Oh, pick me.
Can you finish the question, love?
Yes. Could you go over the pros and cons of mailing tax delinquents only versus a regular mailing list with all of the normal filters? Kelly, if you... What? This is very... Kelly, I only know this because I've done this. I've been on the testing end of this, and I've talked to many people who have been on the testing end of this. And I would, what I would say, and I put this on in a Facebook post. It was like a year ago. Someone went out, who wasn't even in our group, tested this whole concept and came back and went, holy cow, what a disaster. He's like, the number of properties that came back with the tax delinquent that were problem properties, I couldn't even close on them. And then the ROI was so much lower than all the other ones. He said, I'm over. I did my personal study game. That's it. So I would recommend you go ahead and do it. And here's the thing. So many of these tax delinquent, we just did didn't we talk about this on the show? Yeah.
It was a show we recorded for next week.
Yeah, we have a show coming up on this. And you're not crazy, Kelly, for thinking this, and I only know this because of what we've been doing so many deals. So many, if you just hit the tax delinquent, you're uncovering more of the problem ones, and a lot of them are tax delinquent for a reason. They're stuck in probate. They really can't. It's really a mess to try to transfer them, and they really are walking away, from them for a reason, kind of thing. And I don't want to take on that headache. I'm here to send out more mail and get the good ones. And so here's the flip side. You would be surprised. I've talked to so many people that say, yeah, you're right. Oh my gosh, I didn't know. When you start getting calls back from people that your price sings to them, and they've been regularly paying their taxes and like mowing the lawn on it. I'm not kidding, because they didn't know they didn't have to, and they're ready to sell. You're going to go, oh my gosh, I had no idea. Game over.
So some of the other people out there who teach or profess to have a lot of experience mailing delinquent property. Here's the deal. It's exactly what Jill said. The property that's delinquent, it advertises the fact that there's all kinds of other stuff that's wrong. Mm-hmm. We've tried this multiple times. You send 5,000 letters out to people who have delinquent property, and then 5,000 just everybody, including delinquent property in an area. You get about the same response. but the closing percentage is much, much higher.
Mm-hmm. And much better properties and
it's just,
everything.
If you want to get a response and feel good about yourself, send out a postcard that says, hey, homeowner, or hey, John Smith, I'm really interested in buying your house. Give me a call and let's talk about it. And you're going to get 5 million calls and buy nothing. You're going to get so discouraged because of all the conversations you have that nothing happens. What you really need to do is just trust us and trust the other people, more senior members in this group. Go on to landinvestors.com and ask these questions.
Perfect.
Send letters out to everybody. You're going to do great if they're priced right.
And I'm not afraid, and we don't even, what am I trying to say? Absentee owners, I don't care. They all get a letter. That you want to hit them all. Doesn't matter if they live there or not live there. So thank you, Jack.
Good.
All right. Jared asks, anybody been threatening? What? Anybody been threatened with getting shot for a low offer? Because I have, LOL. Oh, that's hilarious. Luke says funny stories. We all have funny stories.
He's talking about the hate.
Yeah. That's okay. It's going to happen.
The first time I sent a ladder campaign out, there was no Land Academy, so I had no idea what to expect. I was like trying something new. At that time, we were just running the whole company on going to tax auctions, mostly in California and New Mexico. This is before Bid for Assets even had any properties online or Arkansas or any of that. We had to go in the car and do it. And so I was desperate to find, I was tired of traveling. I was desperate to find a way to do it so I didn't have to travel as much. And so I sent the first letter campaign out, and this is exactly what happened to me. I said, this is never going to work. The first 2 weeks were packed full of people that were coming. They were just ready to come. They wanted my address.
Oh, you're kidding.
They wanted my home address. This is how I came up with not having a home, like a regular office address, and using like the paid for, UPS stores. And then 2 weeks of awful horror goes by. I stopped answering my phone. I did all the logical stuff, all the stuff we'd say not to do. And then, so finally, then 2 weeks go by, and then there's nothing. Like the calm before the storm. And then all the mail comes in, and it's all these signed offers. Mm-hmm. And now we're buying properties left and right. In 1 week, we bought more property than we did in the previous year combined, going to auctions. So then I started to work on it from there. Like, doesn't even resemble the letter that we send out now. It was all completely different and probably not as respectful in the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, hate's part of the deal.
Yep. Thank you. All right. That's funny.
You're a good MC at this, Joe.
Thank you. I've got a few years experience.
We just recorded show 590 today.
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
And we did not start with show 500. We've heard of people doing that, by the way. They're like, yeah, I'm on show 5 whatever. I'm like, what'd you do? And they started at something. I'm like, that's not fair. It's silly. All right.
We started at show 0.
We did. We have some negative. That was this show.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Because we actually did
a show before this.
We did several before this show. If you dig and find them, they're comical.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. On our really, really old 2.5 year ago YouTube shows. We should go watch them.
Let's not talk about that.
Sorry. It's funny. Okay, Matt asks, selling my first purchase now, yay, in Tennessee, and lots of interest in 2 weeks. Hang in there, but nobody has purchased yet. Lots of people are asking about perk tests and surveys, neither of which I have on this property. I'm telling everyone, Matt, you're doing everything right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling everyone this is sold as is. A lot of buyers turned off by this. That's okay. It's definitely priced to sell versus the comps. Thoughts? Yep. Wait 2 weeks in a day. No, I'm serious.
Take credit cards.
Yep. And to make it really easy, you're doing everything right. And we've had several calls exactly like this, Matt. And then you check in with us next week and you go, never mind, and it's funny because we've had people that said, we got off the call and then it sold.
Or while they were asking the question, they said, oh, wait, forget about it. It just sold.
Yeah. And then they've even said 2 days later, I got a call from somebody who would have paid more. I'm like, yep. Yeah. So hang in there. And if you've got it on LandPin, I know you've got everything. Use LandPin as a good posting. What am I trying to say? Checklist to make sure you have all the things, and then copy that posting, use everything you have on there and put it everywhere else. So I think you're doing everything right, Matt.
Hey, what you don't want to do is run out and get a perk test and run out and order a survey.
Mm-hmm.
Take this from me.
Mm-mm.
one or two people say stuff like, I really learned this since we started Land Academy. There's always a customer, or maybe two, and this happens with land, that say, if you guys just did this, it would be better. If you just had a perk test,
Right.
if you just could tell me how to give me driving directions specifically, I know you have 1,300 lots for sale, but you really need to provide attention to me. And
Good
so
point.
I'll tell you what, you can go out of business doing that. If I had a nickel for every time I heard somebody say, specifically at Land Academy, if you just did this, if you just paid attention to me, I just got kicked under the table.
You know what?
So, go ahead, Joe.
Well, you know what I was thinking about too, Matt? The ones that ask a lot of questions sometimes, I think you've heard us talk about this on this call even, the people that call and ask a lot of questions, they're not serious buyers. So don't even worry about it. It's not you. Someone's going to check out in the middle of the night and you're going to go like, oh, look at that, gone. And that was the right buyer. So, and then the other thing is what I usually tell people in this situation, like, look, sure, I can go out and get a perk test, but hold on a moment. It's going to cost me this much of my time and this and this and this and this. So, all right, I'm going to add $1,000, but I'm going to get you a perk test. Is that going to solve it? And they're going to go, oh, never mind. Okay, well, thank you then. So that's the thing. It's you priced it right because of that. So there you go. You're passing the savings on to them. If they really want a perk test, they can go get one.
Pricing it right is the best favor you can give them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The best thing you can do for them. Yeah.
There you go. He said, Matt's already gone down that path. Okay, you know what, Matt? He said he did try to, up it. And then she's not a real buyer. Don't worry about it. She's not serious. Sometimes, you know what I think too, you guys? Sometimes people get a hold of these things like maybe they think they're just even sounding knowledgeable. They might even ask for perk test and they don't even know what it is, but they think they sound like a smart shopper if they use those words. And, so I don't worry about that. Steve asks, just closed on one of the 20-acre parcels I asked about last week, as the seller found the missing deed to plug the hole in title.
Nice.
So
You solved it then.
To marketing. Also, now have a buyer for 2 of the 3 parcels I have under an option. These are even better. I have $4,000 assignment fee built in to this, and all parties know the numbers.
That's awesome, man.
I've done everything right.
What a great story.
Should I update my option for final numbers? No. And do an assignment of option, or just work up a purchase and sale agreement and assign that? Yep. This will be closing with a title company in a county near the property that the buyer wants to close with.
That is great news.
Done. So talk about
outstanding. And
you're being upfront and transparent. Everybody knows it and they love it. Awesome. Good job. Hey, Luke Smith said, have you ever looked into the America's Auction? Oh, yeah. Did you? I didn't look. America's Auction Network people got some land going up for auction on Friday there. Prime time should sell it. Fingers crossed.
Luke, can I'm going to unmute you if that's all right. Yeah. Luke, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good deal. So, yeah, I emailed you last week. You probably never saw it or whatever. America's Auction Network. They contacted me. They went through like Landpin and contacted basically everybody, as I think is what they're doing, and asking for properties that they can go auction on their channel. They've got like Dish Network and satellite TV, some cable channels here and there, Roku and internet streaming ones, YouTube and stuff. So they run live auctions, and people call in to their call center and buy stuff, whether it's coins or cars or whatever. They do land a couple times a week.
Mm-hmm.
And just vacant land. And you see like Lehigh Acres in Florida popping up weekly on there, right? Just classic kinds of places that land dealers get into. And so they sell this land, and they contacted me on what I think is no access, middle of nowhere Arizona land. Like, really? You really want to start with that one? Okay. And so I really test them with some property. And they run with my asking price, and they go try to sell it for more. And if they can sell it for more, they keep the difference. And
wow.
They option it from me, sign an option contract with them. and they want 30 days to go try to sell it. And they go over there and they like videotape the property and they make an ad, while they're standing there, and they talk about it. And I feed them some sales pitch stuff about the land and about the area and the, stuff that they can juice up their ad with. And they just go live on TV and tell people bid it up, see what they can bid it up to, pin one against another. So if you go on their website right now, you can see them auctioning, I don't know what, maybe it's coin hour or baseball cards or something. Yeah, you got it pulled up. You can see what they're trying to sell right now. And they just full-time sell stuff. So
it's not a TV channel. It's an online web thing.
They're on TV too. I mean, but I don't have Dish Network and all the satellite stuff that they're on. There you go. So they're selling something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do condos and homes too. And they like, for the vacant land, they don't even seem to take it through title. They're like doing the paperwork on their own for these smaller dollar ones. I'm like, oh, heck yeah. Because I was really trying to figure that out. Like, am I signing all this paperwork and then I got to do a bunch of title paperwork too? I'm sure if they're doing homes and stuff, it gets more in depth. But they have the people like use a credit card and wire and cashier's checks and stuff, over the phone. They collect their money. And
so you're going to be the big guinea pig for us on Friday, and then come back on the show, come back on the call here next Thursday and tell us how it went.
Yeah.
Yes, I got a couple of them. I thought maybe you guys had run into them in the past or somewhere. But yeah, I'm just try a couple properties, and then if a couple of them go, I'll give them more.
Me too.
Oh, yeah. I thought Jack just gave me this look like we should do this.
No.
Oh, please don't start another company.
No more new companies.
Okay. This week.
He's a live, live on location right now. I put down the page a little bit. There's something
right here. 16 properties.
Right. Well, I guess that's tomorrow.
And it's a New York. These are cool though. Look at these little. This is the kind of property we buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, those aren't mine, but.
Yeah, can we see Luke's in there somewhere?
Can I look yours up? Is there a keyword?
You just gotta go by location. So the one that's supposed to be up on Friday is in Hawaii. Cool. If you look up Hawaii, I think it should be the only Hawaii stuff.
We have somebody in our community who's looking for Hawaii property, as a matter of fact.
I got others. But that's
right.
Yeah.
This is really intriguing. So my gut reaction to this as an investor is to research it. Let's see how it goes with you. We'll probably throw some properties up there if it works for you. We will, in fact, for sure. And then what ends up happening is when you can have a liquidation, mechanical liquidations situation, eBay's like this. You can start to specifically buy property that's a little bit different than normally you would buy because you know it's going to sell and you know we're going to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that's awesome, Luke.
But it's not like a no reserve. I mean, they tell you the price you're going to get. You don't get any more the better salesmen they are. Mm-hmm. If my property is $5,000, for example, they sell it for $15,000. I get my $5,000. I don't get any part of what they can sell it for as the bids go up. So they just option the thing and go sell it for whatever they can. They keep the difference.
I love secondhand HUD auctions. I break my own rules and now we're going out for looking for property, but there's so many great deals in there.
I know you do. All right. I'm going to answer some more questions Luke, here. Thank you, Luke. That's great.
Are you going to go to Scandinavia next week and just go absent on us? Or are you going to be around? Okay.
I'm going to go to China. I bought tickets to China. I've never been to China for Christmas. And see the other side of the world for a bit.
That's awesome, man.
Nice. Good job. Okay. I'm going to jump in here. Rod, hang with us if you want to here and help answer. Yeah. Rod asks, I sold a small property on an option. He gave me $100 and promised to pay in a month. I sent him an option agreement. It's now 7 days after the option expired and no money. I guess I should just notify them the deal is off. Should I notify in writing?
Sometimes the girl just doesn't call back, Rod.
Gotta use a credit card. Charge credit card. Don't trust the mail. Use the credit card.
Oh.
Yeah, instant.
Yeah, you've been stood up, I think, and that's okay. I don't think it matters however you want to say. Since I haven't heard from you, we're going to call this done, and I'm keeping your $100. That's the bottom line. So
thanks for dinner, but you're just not my type.
Exactly.
I had a nickel.
I don't think he got the $100, right? He's still waiting for.
He said he gave me $100.
Oh, gotcha.
I thought he said he gave me $100. Promised to pay in a month.
Yeah.
So
stuff that happens. Got $100 though.
Yes. Yeah. Peter asked, "What % of mailings should be in counties with other land investors with versus less competitive markets? A mix. Any thoughts?"
What do you think, Luke? Are you feeling any kind of like in or out of our group competition?
I mean, always. There's always competition out there. But I came into this with the idea, I went to business school. There's all these like classic sayings, right? So one of the classic sayings and from one of my classes was the best place to build a Burger King is next to a McDonald's. And Burger King figured out their whole location business model on where to put Burger Kings by following McDonald's. McDonald's figured out the traffic and the corner and the best place to go put up their McDonald's, right? Mm-hmm. And then you can kind of study them and say, that one's working. Let's just put a Burger King across the street. I think that works for land too. Like if you got a dozen land dealers that are all promoting the same county, chasing each other to the bottom price wise, it brings in more buyers. Whether if there's just the one land dealer there, casting a little bit of a net trying to bring people in, there's a business for him. But if there's a dozen or 50 of them, I think it still works. You got 50 of them out there, it brings people from further away because you got better prices, more choice, more stuff to choose from, and the deals just probably happen even faster in a more liquid market like that. Yeah, the margins are probably less, but I think they still happen.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go for
if you want no competition at all, Peter, buy houses. There's nobody. I mean, in all the markets that every single time I get on the phone with a seller, any product type, I say, do you get a lot of letters like this? And every single person says this sentence. Yeah, actually we get a bunch, but none of them are like yours. None of them actually have a closing date and a price. And then when I do call them back, they don't call me back.
Yeah.
So it's the basic stuff like Luke's talking about. Is there competition? Yeah, but it just makes you better. Makes you return the phone calls faster, get the deals done faster, and get better at pricing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's good.
Better at pricing. And then I don't know if you guys do it. That's one of the questions I put in there was, do you check the other guy's pricing? I mean, yeah, you look at pricing, what they're asking in the market, but do you look up what they paid for the property? I mean, if it's a land dealer, they probably just bought the thing, right? And you got all these title software things you can use.
Yeah.
You can look up the property. You can go see whether you got the APN or the number or the name. You can probably figure it out what property it is, especially if they haven't presented the location and stuff properly, and it's not a realtor that's hiding behind curtains. You can see what they paid, and if they paid $2,000 for the property and they're trying to sell it for $4,000, do you really want to go buy a bunch more land in that area for $2,000 and try to sell it for $2,900 or something? Right. You're trying to cut it. It doesn't make sense. But if you can buy it for $1,000 and sell it for $1,999 and volume, cool. That's fun. And
real good indicator overnight. I mean, not overnight, within an hour, is finding out what people are selling on Land and Farm and Land Watch. You can see whether people have been sending mail in that area or not. And some people dive into the competition and some people avoid it. We do both.
I'm not afraid.
Yeah,
you can probably see if they got a whole bunch of 5-acre properties and they don't have anything else. Maybe it makes more sense to go buy the 1 acres or the 2.5s or the 10s or the 20s or the 40s or some other piece of the market.
Bingo.
There's always an upside, or you can pull a Luke Smith. You can buy like 5,000 acres and cut them all up into 1 acre properties and undercut everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's.
There's always something positive that you can do.
It's true.
I'll tell you what's not positive. There's no property selling in that area at all for some reason.
Right.
You might want to you might not get out of there.
I got one of those.
We all do.
Yeah.
You still have one of those?
Keeps coming back. It's like a boomerang. I keep selling it.
We've all had those. I don't have any of those at the moment. I've been watching.
No, but yeah, it's funny when that happens. Oh. All right.
Jill's hands are all dirty. They're all orange from Cheetos.
Go silly.
I'm eating Cheetos today.
I haven't eaten Cheetos.
It's like you're 12 years old.
Remember the Cheeto?
Why are you
remember the
Cheetos
Cheeto? That was was it you, Luke? The Cheeto lady at the assessor's office?
No, it was Trevor.
Yeah,
okay.
Trevor.
Okay.
Trevor's that story.
So yeah, that was so funny. All right. I was eating Cheetos. Thank you. Okay. Christian asked, working on my first blind offer campaign for houses. Oh, yeah. This is nice. Okay. 2 to 4 units. There are 1,100 records being pulled for the criteria I inputted into RealQuest. Offer area spans about 2.5 by 1 mile.
Geez, that's a lot of apartments.
Awesome.
Wow.
Jeez.
Lots of variation in comps.
It's like New York City?
This is such a good question. I am just starting to work on pricing. I have access to local MLS where I can pull active and sold comps into an Excel doc. You're doing everything right here. Thinking of trying to create some kind of formula to automate pricing somewhat. However, even in this data, still a lot of variation.
Yeah.
How do you go about pricing? Do you read comps street by street?
Yes, you do.
Create a formula based on square foot, etc. There you go. How do you account for the condition of the house, which can vary a ton house to house? Thanks a ton. It was so good.
This is such a good question. What would you do, Luke?
It sounds like for vacant land, that's not enough records. For houses, that sounds like too many records.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, street by street, size by size, make one offer to the 1 bedrooms and another offer to the 2 bedrooms, another offer to the 3 bedrooms, and, like categories, and just cut them up as many categories you can. Maybe 100 houses at that price and 200 of them at that price kind of formula. Like, it's going to be an intricate formula by the time you're done with it. You'll mail the whole 1,100. I'd almost want to break it up into multiple mailers. So I know when the people are calling back, they're getting the letter of, offering this. This is a 2-bedroom house and that street, and that's who's calling today.
Oh, right.
Break it up a little bit.
I would. Everything Luke said is totally true. Once you start doing this for a while, everybody's got their own flair to it. But we make so much money on houses, and I'm just going to pretend these are single-family houses. It doesn't really matter. The ideology is the same. I would even break it down further. I would try to break it down block by block, and then I probably wouldn't even I would go to each property, quite honestly. I'll just cut to the chase. Because if you go each property on 1,100 mailers, it's going to take you maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days, but this percentage, apartments are great to mail because landlords...
look them up.
There's so much stuff that goes on in a landlord's life that doesn't go on in a homeowner's life. Like, the person in 2C hasn't paid their rent for 6 months, and I've had it. Or the plumbing's blown in 3 units. They have really bad days, really bad financial days, not just like emotional days. So you're going to please report back to us, Christian. I want to see what happens. Small apartment buildings are tough business models. So I want to see, I think you're getting a massive response.
You mean as far as when you say go, you don't mean go to, that's for later on. We're not driving the area.
No, I'm sorry.
No, you're talking,
I mean price them individually in the spreadsheet.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying.
You're welcome.
No, God, don't go look at the asset.
Then, so this is perfect. You're doing your awesome work up front. Then when they call you back, so you said that you're talking about the condition of them. Exactly. Now, when you did everything right from what you can in your office on your computer at midnight, when the offers come back in 2 weeks, then you do you or whoever your buyer is going to go view the property. As
far as condition of the actual physical structure, the way we price it, it doesn't matter. So we could be, I mean, you get all kinds of stuff coming back. Like you get the worst houses on the planet coming back and the best ones. Mm-hmm. And so we price it so that it almost doesn't matter if there's a property on a lot anyway. You can get away with this in California. We're almost pricing it just for the land value.
Oh, yeah, we do that.
So it's not so much.
We don't really care about the condition of the structure. Yeah. It's because of the dirt it's sitting on.
I would leave that out. Or you could, or look at replacement. I always look at replacement value before we actually release it, especially not in California and Arizona. And if you lose $110 to $120 for replacement value, everybody in Texas is laughing right now because it's closer to 60 or 70. Mm-hmm. But if you look at that, you're really going to see, you could conceivably could buy a piece of knock the thing down and rebuild something and still make money. Mm-hmm. So replacement value for the structure comes into play. There's a lot of stuff that comes into play, and there's no right or wrong way to do it.
Hey, Kyria, thank you for sharing. 2 weeks ago, we sold 8 properties in 1 week.
Nice.
Yeah. That's more than one a day. I love it. Isn't that great when you're like, what just happened? What just happened? Now, Kyria's probably scratching her head going, uh-oh, we're out of inventory. We got to go buy some more. That's a great problem to have.
Kyria was very skeptical when she started with her husband. She's, what the heck is this? What do you got? Remember that? We're all real proud of you, Kyria. Mm-hmm.
Me too. Eric asks, got a term buyer, default, MIA for 10 days, made my money back on the land and some profit already. All right. I hold the title still. Okay, you're doing awesome. But what do you recommend as far as notification of the buyer before I take the property back? I don't technically. So here's my thing. When they go MIA, I've had a hard time finding them. Good luck getting a mail to them. I might try to mail a note, but they might be MIA. I've had some I've called and the phone number's like shut down. Like, so something happened.
Do you care, Luke?
So.
If they go MIA?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had it happen.
What?
Well, you just do in cash, not terms.
For terms?
I do a lot of terms deals.
Oh,
I got one guy who's not paying right now.
You should write a book. Seriously, what's the secret there?
Well, he gets his payment on the 3rd. I was just checking. My screen's on your screen, so I can't pull it up. But today's the 3rd, right? Or is that tomorrow? So I got to call him.
Today's the 2nd.
So I got to call him tomorrow because he gets paid tomorrow, and then we're supposed to start terms back up again.
Mm-hmm. So you work with them like I try to. That's what I do.
Hold on. I want to hear what the secret is.
What the secret is?
How many terms contracts do you have out right now, ballpark?
I got like $12,000 a month in terms payments coming in, and
that's about what we have, ballpark.
I don't know how many that is. I mean, I should know. It's in a couple different sets of money. I mean, it's not like all just in my name. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how many terms deals that is. I guess 75 or something. I mean, some of them are really small, $25 a month, and a lot of them are, $100, $150, $300, $500. Some of them are $500 a month. But I think the sales pitch is you're better off reselling that property than skipping out on terms.
Mm-hmm.
So I got one workout deal right now where the person doesn't want to keep paying the terms. And so I said, well, if I can sell it for more, or sell it, for what you bought it from me at, or right around there, I'll collect terms off of that person and pay you out. I'll pay you back with the front loaded money. I'm not going to give you the money back that you already put down on terms. I'll just try to get it from somebody else if I can sell the property to somebody else. So I'm doing that with one lady right now. She seems really happy with that. The property's been back up for sale for a month or so. She's still making the terms payments while I'm trying to sell it.
That's cool. So you work with them.
Yeah, exactly.
We know it in my experience, though, too. It's like I've had them where they paid like a year and a half, and maybe it's a 5-year thing, and they're halfway in, and then something happens kind of thing.
Yeah.
too. So it's been a long time. Usually when they start off, it's all good for a really, really long time.
Yeah, just get them on the phone, negotiate something else. Like maybe you bit off more land than you could chew. Like let's do a property somewhere else, or what's your hurdle? Where are you stuck? And let's figure out a way through it and see if we can come to a solution. And you come up with all kinds of creative stuff. Go take pictures of these 50 properties for me. There's not like they actually do it, but if they did, it'd be friggin' great.
Right.
Write that off.
Exactly.
So yeah, there's all kinds of things you can do.
Yeah.
Just talk
I love
to
it. Yeah, so I would, and so your question, Eric, I call them, email them, text them, whatever you can to get them in. So that's good. That's a nice thing about owner finance. We all get to do whatever we want. We're not making payments on it ourselves. We own it. So we can be really flexible. Oh, he wants to add, Christian's adding, I want to add that this area is super hot right now. In my opinion, getting to the point where people are overpaying. A lot of sellers know this. Any tips on how I should let this affect my offers, if at all?
The person that's going to sign your offer and send it back, call you back and put a deal together is probably a completely different personality. You may have even woken them up to the fact that you can sell it, or that they want to sell it that day. So the person that's going to deal with somebody who gets a letter from you is not the kind of person who is in the business of like selling assets really quickly and using real estate agents and all that. It's a very different personality type. So I think that I think you chose a great area and a product type that's unique, and I think you're going to have a lot of success with that mailer.
Kelly asks, and you should, Kelly, I have a list of questions. What's the best way to get them answered? Well, first thing I would do is search in, because you are now a member and you have pro access, so there's lots of things in landinvestors.com, and their search thing's pretty good. So I would search in there because a lot of your questions may have had answers. So I would go there first. I would also use on all of our websites, there's like a looks like a lifesaver, little buoy lifesaver ring on the bottom right. Go there, pop in your question, see if there's an answer there. If it's not there,
right here.
There you go. Exactly.
People use that, huh?
And so, first thing is land investor, like I said, because there's so many things that that have, like I said, already been answered by all of us. We've all worked through some stuff together. So go in the online community, use the website there, put in your question in the online community. You don't see an answer, because here's my other thing too. If you've got a question, someone else may have the question too. So, and I want to answer it for, I want to answer it for 200 people, not just for one. So I want to share it with you.
You want to schedule a call with me too. If there's a lot of questions like that, you can schedule a call in this resources section.
The data deal review, if it's something like that and you're really getting into some stuff, that's what that's for. So exactly. So we have a lot, and then here on the call too. So we have a lot of good things that you can do. So good question. And thank you for asking that, Kelly. This is a Luke. Luke asks, when checking pricing, do you check the lowest price land in the market costs when they bought it, especially other land dealers?
No. I kind of feel it. I wish there was just a scientific answer for all these questions for pricing. No, if I'm going to go out and mail a county, like let's say in Montana, I really get as much data as I can about completed sales and existing sales, and I try to stay in the vast lower portion of that, not the absolute lowest, but the lower portion. So, and I specifically remove the top and specifically remove the bottom, because there's all kinds of weird stuff that goes on with the bottom and the top. The bottom is usually interrelated party transactions, and the top is usually input wrong by the assessor. That's been my experience. But again, a lot of it's art, a little bit of it's science. What do you think, Luke? Want to answer your own question?
Well, I think I was getting at like turning around and selling it, because you turn around and sell it, you can lower the price over time if you're competing in a marketplace. But if you bought it for something less than the other dealers, it's a lot easier to compete in that marketplace. You can sell it at their cost. They don't drop their prices down to compete with you.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Good.
A lot of times you can have this very similar asset, and you purchase it very similar way, but sell it different ways. If you're up against a term seller, and you're a cash seller or vice versa, there's a lot of things that you can do that make that attractive. Maybe you take credit cards and they don't. There's a lot of stuff that makes you more competitive.
Yeah.
Maybe you answer the phone and they don't.
Yeah. My YouTube stuff's chiming in. I mean, I make videos and it's like, oh, sold. I follow you on Facebook. I mean, I'm a subscriber on YouTube. So every time you do a video, it gives me a notification, and I had to turn my notifications off because of you. Yeah,
it's a compliment.
It works. I mean, it just works. And it's not the people, I'm guessing, but the people buying through there are probably not checking the markets on, Land Watch, Land Pin, Land whatever, Lands of America or something. They're signed up because they're shopping for land somewhere and ran into one of my videos, and then see one that comes by that perks their interest and they go for it.
It's nothing like video, huh?
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It just does it. It answers the questions too, so they don't call and ask questions. They just go buy it, check out online.
You know what? I'm speaking for me, and I'm
brace yourself.
Hold on a moment. I can imagine that many of us have been in this situation where you don't really care. It's emotional now, and you love it, and you want it, and it's and you could care less what the price is. You have that much money in your account, and you're just going to act on it. I'm done shopping. I don't want to think about it. I know this checks all my boxes. I don't really care.
Exactly.
So what if the one over there is whatever? I want this one. And I'm not even going to know. I'm not going to go looking and try to beat it. I found this property that Luke has, and it's a view I wanted, and I have that much money, and I feel good about it. Mm-hmm. And by the way, I'm not going to go checking it later on to see, did I make a good decision? It felt so good to me that I don't even care.
Right.
So, thank you very much. Okay, do you get calls or inquiries? This is a Luke here. Do you get calls or inquiries from land assessors? You got a guy from the U.S. You want to explain this one, the government?
Well, go ahead and read it. I got a call from the U.S. government calling about every desert property in Southern California and calling my buyers and calling me too, just to get checking prices in the area. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I get it. Go ahead, Luke.
I mean, I get numerous calls, usually from like commercial style assessors that charge for their assessment, and they're checking the area. I totally understand that. But then I don't understand the government ones as much. Like I get Bureau of Land Management. They're trading properties around. They're trying to figure out values. They get U.S. Forestry Service people calling. You get trying to think of who else, like the Navy
utility companies.
Yeah, utility. Just a bunch of them trying to check prices of properties. Is that real? Is that real? Is that And I just wonder if you have like a off the shelf reply, or you actually start pulling out numbers and checking on stuff, or do you help them, or do you kind of just voicemail them, or what do you do with them?
The first thing I do is say, I appreciate what you're trying to do, and I understand it because I'm a data person too, but my time's limited. So if you send me an email and list all the questions out, I'll work my way down the list and get it back to you. Anytime I deal with somebody, this is not just true with land, but in anything where they're really kind of just robbing you of your time, I ask them to do something, and 9 times out of 10, they just never do it. It's over. Because people don't want to do stuff.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. It happens with you all the time. It happens with Jill all the time. She just doesn't know it. Now she knows the secret.
Doggone it. That's what you tell me. I'm happy to do that. You put it on the calendar. He does that to me all the time. So you know what I do? I do put little silly things on the calendar. Take out trash on the calendar. Just kidding. That's hilarious.
Jill, I really do that, but I seriously don't do it with you.
Oh,
I really don't.
You now?
I might subconsciously do.
Oh, now I'm on to you. Thank you. I'm on to you. Okay. Hi, Anwar. Jack and Jill, you guys are probably way past this in your career now, but in your experience, what is the number of inquiries? Oh, this is good for Luke too. Per one property sold. I am at 8-1. Good.
That's good.
Oh, I love keeping
8-1 's
track of
good.
this, Anwar.
Yeah.
But like to see what's the expectation on the sales side, if closing could be better, etc.
What do you think?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't track it out.
I probably got the data to figure that out, but I've never checked. That would be interesting to know. I mean, I automated a lot of the inquiries, so they kind of get generic replies. Unless they have more specific questions, then I try to answer those. So it's like computer talking to computer.
Yeah.
So how do they really count? I think a lot of those inquiries are just junk, spam stuff. Yeah. I mean, I think how many views or like website hits and stuff like that. I've kept track of that more. I mean, lots of times the properties are sold and less than 100 views on the website.
Yeah.
Some of them that get like 500 views or 1,000 views and it's still not sold. I'm usually lowering the price or doing something, trying to present it better, change the title, change the pictures, change the description, change something, right? And then, some of them get up to like 4,000 or 5,000 views and not sold. I mean, that's like the problem childs. Mm-hmm. So that's not the same numbers you're talking about, but that's like, website hits.
So you're dropping the price?
Yeah, just keep dropping prices.
This is Luke's website on the screen here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's
Look
always
at that. I love your moving GIF at the top there. That's the video thing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cheap, easy cheap land.
Love it.
I love that, man.
That works.
Awesome. Totally.
Get some testimonials. And
that's really good.
Looking at it, looks like a whole bunch of the same picture in a row. Get that changed.
Stuff happens.
Hey, Patricia. Yeah. Tom asked, if there's no APN number on the vesting deed, which there doesn't need to be, should we create a new deed the same way with no APN? You don't need an APN on there anyway, ever. Few people answer this question for me at landinvestors.com, but I'm still confused. A few people did. Okay, good. For example, said that he deletes them all. Yeah, technically we shouldn't have APNs on there. It's just the legal description.
If I do a deed personally, which hasn't happened in honestly quite some time, I put it on there. And I put it way up high, regardless of the county, because it just saves, in the name of saving all the people down the chain.
Right.
A lot of hassle. I do it. I probably shouldn't, but I do.
Right.
Yeah. I've had multiple counties tell me not to, and I've had counties tell me to put it on there. Mm-hmm. When it's not on there, they tell me to put it on there. Different county, different
what reasons. I never do is put it in the legal description, though. You don't want to mess with that. Just leave that there.
Yeah. So I've had a couple counties recently tell me to take it out of the legal description. Mm-hmm. And I usually do. I usually don't put it in there because I say it changes. Next time it's split or merged or whatever, it changes. Legal description should be separate from the APN number. APN number changes over time. Legal description is supposed to stay the same.
Right.
Exactly. Thank you.
Just, you know what? Can we play a little game real quick?
What are we going to play?
How much did it cost?
Oh.
Look, if you can decline.
Some of these properties.
Yeah. This $5,000 property in Mississippi, what'd you pay?
That's on option. I didn't pay anything.
So $0.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is a fun game.
It's hilarious.
For me. This $500 property in Navajo County, Arizona, what'd you pay?
How big?
1.25 acres.
Probably $125.
Nice. 5 times.
Okay.
Everybody talk amongst themselves.
All right, we do some questions. Yeah. All right, Todd asks, this is good. 1,500 offers, 7 contracts signed. Of the 7, none had road access. 2 already were owned by someone else according to the county. Bad records. Chain of title issue on 2 others made it too complex to resolve. So it doesn't look like I'm going to close any of these. Most of them owe so much in the back taxes that there's not much equity left even when the purchase price is low. One, I have contacted the neighbors and I'm trying to get a deal signed with them to purchase the 2.5 acres I have under contract. But the buyer wants a survey done. He lives next door. It would take most of the profit out of the deal. Seems like a lot of work for not much outcome. So I'm wondering how how much time has passed. Because in there, do you feel that too, Luke? Like there's a sweet, you get some initial responses. You know, you get the wave of not happy people, and then we might have some a little too eager people, and then we might have the really good ones.
Yeah. So the really eager ones, I'm usually putting off because I don't know why.
You're a little too happy to sell.
Because just because I keep taking the next call. I don't mean to. It just kind of happens. And then you get through the calls and you start looking back like, why didn't I close that one? Why didn't I close that one? And you start digging into the paperwork. It's like, man, that person's dead. That one's dead. That one's can't tell if the wife's supposed to sign or not. Where's the paperwork? You know, what's something missing? Something doesn't add up. There's super eager people. Oh, the HOA fee is ridiculous. Oh, the taxes are ridiculous. You know, and that kind of stuff starts coming out of those super eager to sell people. Mm-hmm. Lots of the time, paperwork or the fees just don't work. And, or they're living in the Philippines or something. They don't have a notary around to sign it or whatever. I get some of those too. Like, forget it. Not even going to bother. Just move on. The easy ones are where it's all at. Like a 20/80 rule. If you could just focus in on, that time slice. I mean, as soon as the hate stops calling, you get some eager ones in there, and then it goes to a normal pace. Just take those.
Yeah.
Just take those deals, and then
Perfect.
A little bit later, it's the still weird ones. It's usually like, well, it's my brother's land and I'm calling for him. And yeah, it starts getting weird again over time. I think there's a perfect slice in there. I think that's where most people stop answering the phone because they're burned out of the hate and they're bogged down on the weird ones trying to figure out the paperwork. Mm-hmm. And they miss the best slice of the reply.
There you go. So, Todd, the answer is put them aside, wait a week.
Yeah, circle back.
The middle good ones are going to roll in.
I also think if you're going to send 1,500 offers out and you're brand new, just try to send out 500 one place. Pick 3 places so you can diversify your risk a little bit.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, 1,500 offers. I mean, you probably get through them all and you don't get overwhelmed with the phones. Well,
it's pretty light.
Maybe if you're new, you do, but
right.
Yeah, you probably go figure them all out in that size. I'm talking like 5,000 offers or something. The phone's going to go so hard that you just lose track of those weird ones.
It's a good deal. I'm looking at this P.M County transaction for $2,000. It's real hard to find P.M County property.
Yeah.
Are you having friends shopping on Luke's? Are you going to play and join the call here?
No, I might make an offer on this, though.
Oh, gosh, here we go.
I could sell it tomorrow.
I think I had to pay tax on that, so it's like
I could sell it tomorrow for $5,000.
Yeah, $400 to $600 or somewhere in there. Cost.
P.M County's really hard to find property for some reason. I don't know why.
Tomas asked, would you guys recommend starting to get familiar with the websites you all offer and join the live class later, or just go ahead and get the DVD course?
I don't know, Jill, whatever.
I would go ahead and do the DVD course because every person here that's successful, Luke included, that's what he had.
Yeah, you guys still doing DVD? It's not like you just...
It's not DVD.
No, it's online.
It's all online.
Yeah. You want instantaneous gratification. Click that button right after you pay and start learning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When we released the live education in January, the base, we're not going to go back to kindergarten. We're going to actually put an offer in the mail. So those concepts that are in that DVD course don't you think, Luke?
There's a lot in there, Tomas.
It's the basic stuff in there.
Good stuff. Yeah. Some of the examples are probably dated, or not the examples, but the tools to use, because you guys have made better tools. But the ideas, the methodology, the logic is hardcore. It's good stuff.
Thank you very much. Okay. Marilyn asks, speaking of in the online material, there's an option agreement in there. So where's a good option agreement to use? It's under, when you go to the bottom on your member dashboard, Marilyn, and you scroll all the way down, I can't remember what it looks like, but there's a thing on there.
There's two data. It's a picture of a DVD, but there's two data subdirectories in there. Once you get in, then you can pull all kinds of stuff out of there,
Old
contracts and agreements and everything. There's literally like 100,000 files in there of all the pictures we've taken of desert property over the years is in there. Mm-hmm. There's a ton of stuff.
Yep.
Exactly. You're going to be disappointed when you get to the option agreement, because here's the whole option agreement. You agree to sell, and I agree to buy, and you agree to let me market this property as if I own it or as if I have equitable title for 6 months.
Or whatever.
Sign here, please.
Bingo. So, yeah. Eric I'm going to ask this one. He just popped in. I just moved. I haven't unburied the DVDs. How to get them on the website? Just log into Eric, you have access, because you're a member. You have access to the member dashboard. So you can log in and start watching it right there. So if you have any questions, it should be on the
log in. Yeah, you should go into the log into Land Academy itself and go to the dashboard. And right. You should never have to use physical DVDs. We stopped shipping those quite some time ago.
Yeah, and then if you can't get logged in for any reason, Eric, use the little lifesaver buoy thing on the bottom right of the page there. Click on that. If there's not a thing telling you how to log in, my team will make one.
Oh my God, they're right.
Yeah.
Everybody, all of our staff says, every time you guys do a Wednesday call, we have to do more stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, because it needs to be there, because then it should get you right in. Cool. And then what you do, I think you can go in, Eric, and just use if you try to go in, log in, and you're basically going to say, I forgot my password, because you didn't have one, basically. And you put in you go through those steps to reset your password, and it's going to get you in. So, good question. Jessica asked.
I just typed in dashboard.
Good. We're over it, so I want to get these questions done, please. I know you're having fun, though, Jack. Oh. Thank you.
I will I'll talk with you later about this.
Okay.
Sure.
Jessica asked, Landwatch versus Lands of America. We had properties on Landwatch with not much response for 4+ months. Just canceled our subscription.
Yeah.
I think I heard that Lands of America owns them all. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But thoughts on the best paid service to subscribe to?
Luke, this is a perfect question for you.
Yeah, I struggle with this all the time. I was on the phone for like half an hour this morning with CoStar, who owns all these websites.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, guys, I'm paying for, whatever the bill is, a lot for all these different websites. Like, there's got to be some consolidated thing you got going on. And so Landwatch, Lands of America, Land and Farm, they're grouped together. I got different salespeople at each one of them. And LoopNet keeps calling me because my stuff is fed in from those websites. So I think I might have got somewhere with the LoopNet guys, and they said they just got the okay to start doing like bulk package deals between all the websites. Yeah. And so if I get it posted with them, they'll get it fed into the other websites.
That's huge.
And I'm telling them, like, I got subscriptions to the other websites, but I want it all wrapped together. I want a better price. I buy a bunch of advertising. And so I'm going back and forth. I don't have a number from them, and I'll keep working on it. I'm trying to like consolidate the bill down, make it smaller, and get more promotion out of it if I can. Maybe end up paying more money, but get it all over LoopNet as well, like featured stuff on LoopNet, some kind of deal like that, where everybody wins. They get more money, I get more promotion, something. So I'm working with them, but the key there is that they just started grouping their stuff together. So they have the capability of it. They just aren't promoting it yet.
Yeah, they just bought Land and Watch like a few months ago. Landwatch. I'm sorry. So CoStar owns. They own Landwatch, Land and Farm, and LoopNet. LoopNet's been around forever.
Right.
Yeah, and they said LoopNet, I can put YouTube videos on the LoopNet ads. Yeah. Cool. So Landwatch, you can do YouTube videos. Land and Farm, I don't think you can. Lands of America, they kind of hide them. But I think that would be cool, because that helps answer a lot of questions.
I wish we could answer your, there's one place to go to, but, you just have to do the thing.
Mm-hmm. Get into a system. Jermaine asks, we have a property under contract and use a title company to perform a 40-year title search and could not find the original vesting deed. The property was transferred over to the owner by will. We cannot find the property description within the will. Is there anything we can do in order to still buy the property, or is this a deal we should just pass on?
How much are you paying for the property, and how much do you stand to make? Is this a home run? This kind of stuff doesn't scare me too much. Mm-hmm. When you're having this much trouble finding a vesting deed and finding out the owner and all of that, and within reason, what that tells me is that $1,300 purchase price, they say.
Okay.
What that tells me is that there's nobody's really left alive to contest the damn thing.
Well,
so, it doesn't concern me that much.
Yeah.
So the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to lose $1,300. I would buy this property.
Yeah.
That's how I would do it.
Yeah.
You know why? Here's why. Of all the properties we bought, with this type of asset, problems don't come up.
Yeah. You can recreate the legal description. I mean, depending on the property, even if you got to go off all the neighboring properties or whatever to make it up.
If it's got an APN, if it has an APN, that's 90% of the battle. There's a couple properties we're dealing with right now in Taos, New Mexico specifically. Not even the assessor knows where they are.
Yeah.
And Taos is famous for that. So and one of them doesn't have an APN, but it's got a legal description. That's a huge mess, but they're so profitable to try to work it out.
Cool.
Go ahead, Joe.
I'm reading Albert's thing. Call 480-467-0359. Or, Albert, use the buoy, you're welcome.
He's having an access issue.
Yeah, access to offers to owners. Yeah, call the office or do support at landinvestors.com. That's a better email.
Last weekend, our server was offers to owners. Yeah, I can't describe to you the response. It's 4 times what I budgeted, the revenue offers to owners since we launched it. And last weekend, the server for 3 of the sites went down because of, we remedied it right then.
On Saturday.
But that might have happened what you're experiencing during that thing. So if there's a unique situation, we'll figure it out.
Never mind. Yanni said that he was fixed 10 minutes ago.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, good. They already saw that. Okay. So I think we're all good to go. Boy, that's speedy. Whew, nice job.
What company?
Thank you.
Has an immediate response like that.
Goodness.
That's awesome.
Thank you very much. Kyler asks, hey, Luke, what are some specifics on how you market videos on YouTube? I've never done that before. Do you have groups you tag in the videos? Are you putting the price in the video or in the comments? If you could walk me through your success tips for YouTube selling, I would appreciate it.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm just trial and error, right? One of the things I just started doing is making better thumbnails for the videos. I've studied a lot, and that's supposed to mean a lot. It gets people to click on them a lot more. If you have a professional, crisp-looking, bright-colored image that it starts out with, not the computer-generated wonky street view or something, looks like a drunk eyeglass view. So you get a better thumbnail in there. So I started playing with that, started doing that. I mean, but promoting them, I've been buying a little bit of advertising, not much, like $5 a day. I mean, just a little tiny bit, testing different things. And I did some generic ones, like just, hey, you can buy land online kinds of videos. I don't have them public. They're just only people that see the ad can see the video. And I put them in front of audiences I thought would fit, like homesteading kinds of audiences. And then I learned more, and so I could do different channels. I could put my ads in front of specific channels. So I started pulling up channels that are all about homesteading, building a house, moving off grid, moving out of the city, moving to the country, kinds of stuff. And I started putting my ads in front of their videos. You can pick what videos you want to be in front of too, if you want. It's hard to find a whole lot of traffic to do that though in our space. So I just did it by the channel. If anyone watches videos in those specific channels that I like, you see my ad. And then if the person sees the ad, you can do remarketing on it through YouTube. And so it chases them around. If they go watch, I don't know, gardening or, makeup design or whatever, my ad shows up because they watched the kinds of stuff that I liked before. And it follows them because they watched through it, or especially I think it's if they watched a lot of it or if they clicked on it, it follows them and starts showing up again and again. And what I should do is make more videos that keep delivering the same idea but different presentation over time, maybe a little different spin to it. And if you make a bunch of different videos and just throw them up there, you get statistics and you see what works best. And then you promote that video and delete the others or downplay the others and make more like that and do it again. Just keep testing. So I've been doing that. Some of the other kinds I've been doing are getting in front of the YouTube creators that I like and buying advertising in front of them, in front of their videos, say, thank you. I really appreciate your channel because of blah, 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 whatever they're doing, and put their name in there, get it all customized. And it just runs. They end up watching my whole ad because it's specific to what those people are watching. Right. And some of them click through and come subscribe to my channel or come join up or follow along and end up buying land. Had a couple people say they were watching, they told me what YouTube channel they were watching when they saw my ad. Like, oh, good. I paid for that. It actually worked. So the more I've been testing, the more accurate it's getting. I think the more money I'd like to throw at it, versus like co-star advertising. I think the the YouTube style is a lot more productive on a dollar per dollar basis. I don't have the numbers to prove that, but just I feel it, and it seems like it. It looks like it because I'm spending so little over there and still getting deals through. I want to up it a bunch. I just haven't had the nerve to do that yet.
We have had nothing but positive experiences with YouTube, and it's mostly like I think 2 or 3 weeks ago we talked with you on this in this venue, and since then I stepped it up and specifically for our products like Landpan and all that.
Yeah,
parcel fact, I mean, it's staggering the number of people that are signing up for this stuff based on YouTube alone and Facebook, actually.
Yeah, it doesn't take many views. It's not about lots of views on the video or anything. It's just that one person. You're just really targeted views. So quality people looking at it and following through. You might look at the video and it's like 25 views and it sold the property. Like, really? How does that make any sense? Mm-hmm. But it's just so targeted.
Yeah. It's keyword targeted.
Well, I'm going to jump in here because there's 3 questions left. But before we get to that, I would like to personally thank the artist. Thank you, Kathleen and Yanni, for pointing out that, yes, Jack is having fun. drawing, giving me a mustache and bushy blue eyebrows. So
Jill likes that kind of stuff.
Are you pointing out ring, no ring? Or just,
I don't know.
I don't know what you're doing. Okay.
There's a lot of derogatory stuff that I thought I could paint on
yeah, that's
these women here.
That.
I chose not to do that.
Thank you very much. Don't think I'm not going to get you back for that one. All right. Jessica asks, Luke, how much do you lower the price? Do you have to lower it to the price you paid for it just to get it to move?
I mean, I should, because there's I don't know how many properties on the website right now. I mean, I should go on there and just lower a lot of them down to the stupid cost price, or less, just to get them gone. First, I try to change the presentation, change the pictures, change the story. Try some of that first, and lower the price just little by little. I mean, little might be from 5,000 to 3,000,
Right.
But, and look at the markets. Some of them, there's no competition in the market and there's no bids. I can't find a bid. Just keep lowering it, see where the market is. Eventually you find it.
It all sells. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. And then once you know the market, then you can go back and hit that area.
Right.
Buy it for less and sell it at that market. So even if you sold it at cost or something, I mean, it's not a total loss because you just learned what that market is. Now you could go hit that area for, significantly less and make money on it going forward.
A lot of the properties that we sell, that land properties, they're in tranches. Like, so if we have a problem property, I'll usually throw it in with a tranche and mark up the price a little bit and give it to somebody else to resell it.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, 2 more. Carrie asks, how can I find a buyer for a commercial property?
Well, LoopNet is the commercial MLS of the planet, unless Luke knows something different.
Yeah,
if you have a good commercial property and it's got a lot of structures and it's in an urban area, sticking a sign on it will work too, because people who want industrial property, the people who own those companies and those buildings around there in that immediate area, they're always looking for more space to do stuff. So a sign, I can't believe I'm saying that, but signage really works if it's urban. If it's rural, you just do the same old stuff. But I think that Luke's YouTube thing would work really well there too.
Yeah.
Or you can send a letter to everybody else that owns property in the commercial area, and that somebody will buy it.
Yeah. So I'm in a pretty hot real estate market locally, and I watch stuff on YouTube a lot, and I'm probably in the right age and brackets and stuff to be buying a house in the area. So I get these YouTube ads that show up about a house, that's other side of town, and they'll do a 3-minute video. They'll walk you through the house to tell you about all the great stuff. They'll show you the ocean. They'll show you the road, the palm trees, and all the dream. And there's no way that ad is going to all of California. It's not going to the country. It's going to like maybe the zip code or the area or something. You could totally do that with a commercial property. You could make a specific video about it and get really nichey, and go promote it to everybody in that area that fits what you think the criteria is. Mm-hmm. Like mine, I was just looking last night. I was putting it on Land Investors. My audience on YouTube is like 88% male.
Yeah. And
the age group is ridiculous. I can't remember the exact number, but like 55 to 65 or something like that. It's 65% of the people are 55 to 65. I'm sure I got the numbers wrong, but you get the idea. Like the vast majority of them are 50s and 60s males. You don't have to pay for advertising to everybody else. The kids that are clicking everything on YouTube, forget it. Watching cartoons and stuff, you don't pay for that advertising. You can directly hit who you're trying to do in the area, what kind of stuff they watch, and just nail them. So
this is what Luke's talking about. If you look at your screen, this is our YouTube channel in the last 28 days.
Yeah.
And it gets incredible. Like, here's the real-time statistics over the last, I think it's 2 days. And people who are on there, these are people in the last 60 minutes and people in the last, 15,000 views in the last 48 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's demographics over there on the side. Yeah. I bet you if we figure out the male versus female of yours, if you click demographics, I bet you it's a pile of males. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'd like to take credit for part of that. Just kidding.
you have a lot more spread than mine. The age
spread's good.
The viewer age.
13 to 17, all the way up to, so what's our biggest? 35 to 44.
Yeah, so you got a younger audience than mine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the AARP Viagra target market on YouTube.
What?
So those are the kinds of posts that I get.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you very much. All right, Angela, I think this is our last one. Angela asks, I have a question about test ads. How long do you keep your test ad on Craigslist? How far away should I place my ads on neighboring counties? Do you vary the price every couple of days to get a better feel for what customers will pay? Thanks, Angela.
I run stuff in Craigslist as a test until I stop getting response to it, and then that's it. In a new market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Craigslist gets rid of it over time anyway.
Yeah, they push it down. You're gonna get pushed down pretty far. So we call it a test we call it a test for a reason. We don't stick with it. It's just to see if you can get a good response or any kind of response.
Mm-hmm. Then if you should pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So love it.
You'll know in the first 48 hours. Mm-hmm. I think.
We went way over, but that was so good. We have a lot of people on this call too. So I'm really, really glad and hope that we helped a lot of people today. I think that we did.
Good. Hey, thanks, Luke. It was great.
Thanks, guys.
Hopefully, we can talk about you. I'm going to put it in the title next time. We'll talk about the auction network experience you had.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if it works. See if they come back with a bunch of crazy fees or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Luke. And we will happy acquisitions over the next week. We'll be here at the exact same time and place next Thursday.
Thank you. Have a good week.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Good. Picked a good day to